Like, did Call of Duty kill this game overnight, or is it gonna come back? Because it had like 10,000 viewers in this category. Now it has 81. Is this game like literally the biggest streamer right now is 21 viewers? I could be the biggest off the grid streamer. Are you guys paying attention to this? Like everyone was talking about this so much, and now legit it fell off so hard. Like, can we look at the Twitch tracker? Like, this honestly makes me feel better about Parallel and the slow and steady growth. If off the grid, I hope it didn't fall off. I want it to succeed. I actually just started playing it yesterday and had a little bit of fun. I was kind of figuring out the stuff. I want to be optimistic and say, yeah, you know, it's just Call of Duty dropped. But bro, it went from being one of the biggest games on Twitch to having 80 live. Like, if we do the 7-day... Hold on, actually, this site kind of sucks. Wait, well, the better one is Solinome. Sorry, Twitch tracker, but this site's way better. So, if you look at off the grid, like, 7-day... I mean, I guess any game is going to have a fall off. Like, if you do the 3-day thing, it's not much. I don't know. I guess, like, it literally, even on the 3-day thing, like, the average viewers is 653. On a 7-day, it's 859. Like Deadlock. Did Deadlock fall off that hard, though? People loved Deadlock when it came out. It's not comparable, though. No, look. Deadlock has 6,000 viewers right now. Off the grid is down to fucking 80. I mean, that's crazy. Is that normal? I think that's not normal, right? Was all the big viewership paid and none of it stuck? Like, It's... No, because Deadlock... Here's the thing. It happened so fast that if you look at the stats, like a 7-day average, which is about the least I'd want to look at, the average viewers is still 859 from like the like 3-4 days ago. It's like all the viewers were TimTheTatman and Ninja and whatever, Shroud, and now that they moved on, it's just like, is the game actually... Like, that's crazy. That is such a fall off. Like, Deadlock is... If you compare it to Deadlock, it's not even close. It makes me think that maybe the slow and steady... Also, Gas, why do you think it's not a decent shooter experience? So many people were freaking out about it. Was it, like, fake hype? Like, if you look at Deadlock on a 30-day... I mean, honestly, it's, like, kind of similar, but the floor seems a lot less low. Like, okay, Deadlock's down 60% on viewership in a month, but that's after a really hyped launch, and now it's not, like, the main game anymore. But, like, the average viewers went from, like, 30,000 to 15,000. That's so different from average viewers going from... I mean, what was the peak? Oh my god. So it was averaging 4,000 viewers over the last 30 days. And over the last 3 days, it's averaged 650. Like, it's falling off really hard. I don't want this to happen, but it makes me think, like, was it just not a sustainable amount of hype? Like, if it fell down to a few thousand viewers, it'd be one thing. The game was too demanding on your PC. My PC barely runs off the grid. Barely runs it. As an FPS lover, the mechanics just felt not good enough. So as an FPS, like, super noob, it's hard for me to say. So what about the mechanics wasn't good? Like, what part of it was bad? For me, it's just overwhelming trying to get into an FPS, like a battle royale. Especially when people have, like, super cracked... The thing, unfortunately, I feel like everyone who's left in this game is a super duper sweat. And so for me, it's really brutal trying to play. I'm not going to lie, it just makes me want to play Call of Duty. Is Black Ops 6 free? Like, it's just, everyone just went to this. The question is just, like, do they come back? Do people come back to off the grid after the Call of Duty hype dies? And it feels like the answer... I want to say yes, they will, but it feels like no, they won't. Like, the only way off the grid can get the juice back is if the huge streamers go back to playing it. And they're probably not going to go back unless they get paid to go back, right? I'm just surprised at how fast it seems to have fallen off. It's too early to call it, but... Oh, the flying around gas? You think that's what it is? It would take a huge patch and another marketing push? It makes me wonder if games like Neon Heroes, or even Shrapnel, which I'm not a huge fan of, if those games have it right with the more slow and steady approach. Or even like Parallel, right? I mean, Parallel's been growing slowly, and we have a lot. The thing about Parallel, okay, so compare Parallel to Off the Grid. Off the Grid, the biggest streamers played it for like a week, and now we don't really know if they'll ever play it again. In Hearthstone, it's almost the Parallel Hearthstone thing is almost like the opposite. Ironically, like, okay, Off the Grid, people were really loud about it, but now they've moved on, and it's not clear if they'll ever come back. Hopefully they do. With Parallel Hearthstone, it hasn't really played out that way. Like, when Hearthstone pros come to Parallel, they tend to not make enough content, but they play it too much. Like, Off the Grid got a ton of content, but it seems like all those guys logged off as soon as the stream was over. The Parallel Hearthstone thing is like, Hearthstone pros will be playing Hearthstone. I've heard reports of, like, people queuing into Tice while he's streaming Hearthstone. In parallel, which means he has Parallel, assuming it's not some weird shit, it means he has Parallel on his second fucking monitor while he's streaming Hearthstone, right? You can't do that in an FPS, of course. I'm surprised you can do it in a card game. It's so hard, like, the brain power. But it really is, like, it makes me feel more bullish on Parallel that the slow... Yeah, maybe it was you who said it, Diesel. Yeah, like, so to me, the slow growth of Parallel and people... streaming it now and then, having a good time, really liking it, but not being ready to make the leap to focus on it all the way because the viewers aren't there yet. Maybe that whole scenario is better. I think the worst case would be he does play 2 games at the same time. Bro. The worst case feels like something like this, where you just had the biggest streamers in the world play your game for like a week straight. And listen, it's 8 a.m. on a fucking Tuesday. Eastern Standard Time. I know it's not prime gaming hours, but that doesn't really matter on Twitch. Like Hearthstone, you know, Tice is live at 3,000. How many? I mean, like Hearthstone right now has 16,000 views. We saw Call of Duty has 6,000 in the Warzone category. Black Ops has 100,000 almost. Like, so to see Off the Grid fall off that hard and that fast is pretty scary. It's pretty scary for them. And it really makes you wonder, like, yeah. It makes you wonder. No, I hate that shit, Carcass. I hate you guys telling me that. Everyone's like, I can play card games and I can do my homework and I can work a full-time job at the same time. And, oh, I'm juggling. Just for fun, I'm juggling 3 balls in each hand. I'm cradling 2 nutsacks. I'm literally giving 2 people hand jobs right now while I play the game with my fucking nose on the keyboard. Like, whatever it is y'all are fucking doing. And I'm sitting here, like, sweating my balls off just trying to get top 100 at all. You know what I'm saying? You guys piss me off, bro. No, I'm a top 100 player now. You can't take that away from me. 110th right now. You can't take it away from me. I'm a legit low top 100 high diamond player now. I did it. Now the next step is to be a master player. It's so much harder. Anyway, I have to be honest. I am worried about Off the Grid. It feels like the big marketing push. It seemed so good at the time. But oh my god, it might have just not worked. Like, they had user onboarding was crazy, but the retention might have failed massively. Which makes me happy as a retention expert. That's what I do. Retention matters. Onboarding matters and retention matters. You know, this just goes to show retention is half the battle. You got to onboard first, but you must retain second. Retain players.